So today, we have a first here on Spain on a Fork. We're going to be using an ingredient we've never used here on the show. We're talking orzo, which is also known in Italy as risoni. Now, if you're not familiar with orzo, it's a type of pasta that's got a very small shape to it, kind of looks like rice, but it's not rice at all. Indeed, it is pasta that's made with durum wheat. Anyways, we're going to be making a one-pot tomato, chickpeas, and orzo. Now, this is the kind of dish that's going to fill your body with so many great flavors. It truly is effortless to make, and it's all done in just 30 minutes, folks. This is another one of those dishes that's perfect for a busy weeknight dinner, as it comes together so quickly, yet it's elegant enough for a relaxed weekend lunch next to, you know what I'm gonna say, a bottle of Spanish wine. Either way, this is what simple and delicious home cooking is all about. Let's begin by grabbing a large fry pan. You wanna make sure to use a larger pan here, that way all the ingredients fit in there. Remember, this is a one-pan dish. We're gonna heat it with a medium heat, and add in 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, which is 15 milliliters. While the olive oil is heating, I'm going to measure out 1 cup of uncooked orzo, which is about 200 grams. After heating the olive oil for about 2 minutes, I'm going to add in the 1 cup of orzo into the pan. And you want to make sure to mix the orzo around continuously, that way it evenly sautés with that olive oil. Basically what we're doing here is toasting it, which is going to make it nice and aromatic, and at the end, a beautiful texture and flavor. After about 4 minutes, and the orzo is lightly toasted, you don't want to brown it too much, otherwise it can easily get a bitter flavor. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat, and transfer it into a shallow bowl and set it aside. Now, using the same pan with the same heat, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 30 milliliters. While the olive oil is heating, I'm going to finely chop 1 medium-sized onion and roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic. Once the onions and garlic are cut, I'm going to add them into the pan with the hot olive oil. And once again, you want to make sure to mix the ingredients around continuously, that way they evenly saute and they don't brown too quickly. After about 3 minutes, and the onion is nice and translucent, and that garlic is lightly sauteed, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.30 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way the paprika is evenly coating the garlic and onion. As always, the paprika I'm using in this recipe is from Kiva. Like I always tell you, this is one of the best Spanish paprikas out there. Link where you can get some in the description box below, and if you buy it from that link, you'll also get 25% off your order. Then I'm going to add in a 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes, which is 400 grams. 1 1/4 cup of cooked chickpeas, which is 200 grams. And we'll season everything with sea salt and a generous portion of freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give this a quick mix and simmer it just for a couple minutes, that way all the flavors can develop. Now, the chickpeas that I'm using are jarred chickpeas, which is the same thing as the canned ones, and I did add them into a sieve beforehand and rinse them under some cold running water. After simmering our tomatoes and our chickpeas for about 3 minutes, I'm going to add in 2 cups of vegetable broth, which is 475 milliliters. As always, I'm using homemade broth. You'll find the link on how to make it in the iCard above and description box below. Of course, you can also use water here. Just make sure to season accordingly. Then we'll turn up the heat from a medium heat to a high heat and bring the broth to a boil. Once the broth comes to a boil, I'm going to add in the orzo that we have reserved back into the pan. And we'll give it a mix, that way the orzo is evenly distributed throughout the pan. Then we'll place the lid on the pan and lower the fire to a low-medium heat. And we're going to simmer this on a low-medium heat until the orzo is perfectly cooked al dente, which is 11 minutes in my case, so make sure to check the package instructions and the orzo that you're using. And you want to make sure to get in there at the halfway point and give it a quick mix. This is to ensure that the orzo is not sticking to the pan, and it's also going to ensure that all the orzo is evenly cooking. Once the orzo is perfectly cooked al dente, which once again was 11 minutes in my case, I'm going to remove the lid from the pan. And as you can see, the majority of that broth has been absorbed by the orzo, and this dish is ready to go. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat. Finally grate in about 1/4 cup of cheese, which is 30 grams. I'm using a Spanish Manchego cheese that's been aged for 6 months, so it's got a beautiful flavor to it, but it easily melts. However, to make this recipe, you can use whatever cheese you like. And we'll give it one final mix. That way that cheese can incorporate into the rest of the ingredients. This is going to give this dish a beautiful creamy texture. And we'll sprinkle it with some finely chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, our one-pot tomato, chickpeas, and orzo is done. Such a beautiful dish. And like I told you at the beginning, it's gonna fill your body with so many great flavors. It's super easy to make, but the best part, it came together in just 30 minutes, and it's made with the most basic ingredients. Let's give it a try and see how it tastes. You know, like I told you at the beginning of the video, this is what simple and delicious home cooking is all about in a dish that I truly cannot wait to try. Looks absolutely amazing. Here we go. So many great flavors and textures, with that sweet smoked Spanish paprika really shining through and that kiss of Manchego cheese taking it to the next level. But the beauty of this recipe is the orzo with the way we prepped it. First you cook it in the pan just for a couple minutes, and then at the end you add it in there with the broth, and it gives it the most incredible textures and flavors. Folks, give this a try at home. I promise it's not going to disappoint because it is that good. It's kind of like comfort food, but in a healthy way. Very quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my newest patrons, Brian Skyver and Justin Sollers. Again guys, thank you so much for becoming patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified when I release new content. Till the next time, hasta luego. Incredible recipe, truly. Probably one of the best recipes we've ever done here on the show. So many great flavors, so healthy. Like I said, it feels like comfort food, but it's actually healthy for you. With those chickpeas on there, the tomatoes, the orzo. Wow, give this a try, you're gonna love it. See you next video.